What is up, good people? Jungling here. Hope you're doing well. Gary Gensler was back in front of Congress today, as evasive as ever. And we see he was touting his mandate that he claims that he has, that crypto regulation is under his purview. But you notice what he didn't talk about. He didn't talk about the Ripple case, which specifically stated that the sale of XRP or the trade of XRP on the secondary market, well, that's absolutely not within his purview. And he keeps trying to forcefully take control of the secondary market. And I think it's good that, courts are finally starting to push back. Now, I think a lot of people have short-term memory loss here. They are forgetting what John Deaton really did for us. And he goes over this in his live stream the other day. He says, look, when he was in this library case, he was talking to the judge, he said, the sale of tokens, the library tokens, of course, those are not security offerings. And the judge agreed, said on the record in court, you know what, you're correct that we're not talking about the trade of library coins on the secondary market, only when the library sells them directly. And we know it had an impact, not just getting that on the record, but in the Ripple case, because it was cited by Judge Torres in her summary judgment. Don't fool yourself. A lot of people are saying, oh, he had no impact. He had a massive impact, and we shouldn't forget that. Now, House leadership, they're threatening to subpoena the SEC. They keep asking Gary Gensler for records. He refuses to hand them over. And the sad truth is they don't have a lot of power here. What are they going to do? The guy pretty much goes up there, refuses to answer questions, and laughs at them because they can't really do anything. They can't remove him as SEC chairman. They could, cut funding to the SEC, but then you're putting the capital markets in risk, and no one wants the political blowback from that. So you're kind of stuck with the guy until we get a new administration. And he's protected to a large degree by the Biden administration. Number one, that even the president can't just take him out. He could take them to court if they were to try to remove him, even though in practice that would never happen. But the reality is he's just executing the current administration's vision on how crypto should be regulated. It's an anti-crypto administration, and so he's going to be protected to a large degree. He's just, following his marching orders, just like the rest of us. Now, Digital Asset News said, hey, is Chairman Gary Gensler winning? And he's going to win to some degree because he can cause us lots of trouble, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Congress, the Senate, if they wanted to, they can't really do anything here, so he can win to at least to a degree. But he's losing because the courts are saying, look, you can't do this. And make no mistake, had he won against Ripple, the broader crypto market would be in a lot of trouble here because he could go in with the backing of the courts and really cause a lot of problems for us. And I think his ability to largely and broadly affect cryptocurrencies has been stifled by that Ripple decision. But he has a lot of power, and he can sue people, tie them up in court, and really delay the progress of this industry. But that's about it. So yes, he still has power. He wins to some degree. But make no mistake, Ripple beating him in court stripped him of a lot of power, and he could have done a lot of damage had he won that court case, that's for sure. Green Eggs and Ham, Sam I Am, put the following. Is Ripple XRP losing cross-border payments? Did they miss a window of opportunity? There's this article from Fortune saying MoneyGram unveils non-custodial wallets to bridge world of crypto fiat currency with USDC. So they're using stable coins, I believe, on the Stellar Lumens blockchain is what they're doing. And this is going to be interesting. I don't think Ripple or XRP missed anything, but he brings up a valid point. We are seeing some building with stable coins. And some of the things we were trying to do with crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, even Ethereum, well, it may not be the best way to send some of those payments. Probably using stable coins is going to be better. Now, we know there is some risk there because we're trusting on someone to hold the backing of those stable coins. But at the same time, it's kind of like volatility risk. It's only for 3 seconds. So you're really reducing your risk down quite a bit there, especially if you're streaming payments. I think a lot of stuff will move over to stable coins. But does that mean we don't need crypto? Well, no. We need that immutable asset that can't be debased. And I think XRP is a solid asset. It will definitely have its place in payments. I think it will have its place as a currency and as a new world type of value. I think XRP will be great, but we're still kind of working through this and seeing, well, where do stablecoins work? Where do we need crypto? And this is just part of the process. Some of the stuff that Ripple was trying to do, we saw with MoneyGram, it just wasn't working. It was costing a lot of money. They pivot to SME payments. And, they'll keep fine tuning and working on stuff, but they're a leader in payments, as is Stellar, and they're doing a lot there. So there's going to be a lot of players, and we're going to have to all work through this to see the best application for crypto. We're still, I think, learning that, and I think that's all we're seeing there. To my knowledge, I want to bring this up. I know a lot of people are waiting on a big announcement. Maybe Brad and Ripple have a surprise for us. It's very possible, but I don't think we should necessarily expect that. We see this article is titled Ripple's NYC Event is set to unveil significant announcement. And unless I missed something, and I'm not on top of things right now like I normally am, but I don't think there's any announcement that should be expected. I think it's simply just a celebration of a historic victory over a tyrant regulator. And I think it's as simple as that. And that is as good as any reason to meet up and party. I wish I could go there. I hope people let me know what's going on, send me messages on Twitter. I'd like to stay up on top of it, but I do have to work. But I don't think, at least from what I've heard, there's any expected announcement. I think it's as simple as that. Just a big party right in the face of stupid Gary Gensler. Polkadot, I put this on Twitter. Maybe if you're interested in this kind of thing, check it out. But big roadmap building going on here. And they're trying to massively scale this blockchain up to 1,000 parachains. Right now, I think we're at 100, but they're really going to build this out and have fast, cheap, and scalable transactions, not just payments. So I think that's important to recognize. I also put this up today on Twitter, how Ethereum stacks up in the proof of stake landscape. What's happening? You have all of these people that are piling in trying to run validators. People want to earn that Ethereum stake, that yield. And as more people pile in, the yield keeps going down and down and down. I think we're at about 3.5%. But this is interesting because I think we're going to see more institutions jump in here, more big money that are going to invest in doing this. It's not easy. It takes about $50,000 up front. But, if you get it right, it can be consistent payments. Now, even though it's going down, there's going to be a limit to that. I think if 100% of the Ethereum was staked, and we won't get there, it'd be like 1.4% yield. And I think what is important to understand is as people get used to this and it becomes standard, people are going to roll off to other proof of stake networks as well. So we're going to see a lot of growth here. And this was an interesting graphic when you compare average yearly supply chains change since January 2021. You can see why Ethereum is so popular. It is at times deflationary, but in general, you see the small graph, just a little bit of Ethereum increase in supply. ADA is really good as well. And I think DOT's acceptable, but look at AVAX, Atom, and Solana. It's okay if the supply is increasing as long as demand and usage is, but this is just killer, specifically with Ethereum and ADA. Really, really, really good metrics there. So we're going to have to look at all of this as we go forward. And of course, Flare and a lot of other stuff. We'll get into it in future videos. Lastly, I want to show this. Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, as of June, there was less than 190 billion of excess savings remaining in the aggregate economy. So we've really spent down that massive stockpile of cash we had when they were helicoptering money all over the place. And the problem is this, that was as of June. That excess saving has likely already been depleted in the third quarter of 2023. It's gone, folks. We could really be heading for a lot of trouble. When you look at next year, if they don't do something with these interest rates, corporate debt needs to be refinanced. At these rates, it's going to crush people, put people out of business. We got a crisis, especially with commercial real estate. It's a mess out there. I think we can expect some downwards volatility at some point here. That's probably what's going to make them pivot and start bringing that rate down. So just be ready of that. There's always a chance we don't get it, and off to the races we go. That's why I keep my core positions, but you got to have some cash. You can't buy dips if you don't have any chips. And I think we're going to get them at some point. If not, hey, I'm ready to go to the moon. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.